Well, cheers everyone. Welcome to part 2, as promised. Kit check, kit weigh, just to see what I've got, why I used it instead of other things that I have. But first, a bit on the weekend. It was a bit of a tough trek, but I didn't wake up this morning with any aches and pains. Didn't have any aches and pains, but I did wake up looking a bit like John Merrick this morning. The mozzies have got me on my forehead. I've still got a big old lump on my neck. The mozzies and the horseflies in the Dunwich area were just relentless, until we got the fire going, that was anyway. So that was one saving grace. I wasn't alone. I did go with an old friend. I say an old friend, he's quite young actually, but I've known him for some years. He got bit on the back of his hand by a horsefly, and that was on the Saturday lunchtime at the pub in Blyford. By the evening time, it was like a boxing glove. It had swelled up that much. So they're kind of horrible things. And as the same as mozzies, you know, mosquitoes, you don't know they've bitten you until they've gone. And then you start itching and it gets worse and worse. But that was that. Just goes with the territory, I suppose. So onto the video itself that I've recorded already. It was of poor quality, and I do apologise for that. The GoPro that I'd bought apparently needed a special SD card. I had the wrong version of that SD card, so that's why it wouldn't work, and just kept telling me to reformat, which I tried to do, but it just took forever and ever and ever. And eventually it just turned itself off and didn't work. But I am filming on the new GoPro. Yeah, so far it's a good bit of kit. I got the new SD card off Amazon today. There we go. So let's get on to the kit itself then. But before that, we'll talk about the bag. Before you set off on an exped or an adventure or walk, a hike, kayaking, weekend, climb, whatever, you're always thinking about what kit you're going to take, and ultimately then you work out what backpack you're going to carry it all in. I've got a few backpacks. The main ones that I go to are the 3 that I have here, and I'll talk about those now and why I didn't take them. First off was the great old British Army issue 90 litre Bergen, all singing and dancing. It's got pockets on pockets and pockets where you didn't even know you had pockets. You've got helmet covers that you can double up as a pocket, and it's just an awesome bit of kit. 90 litres, but I'm sure you can get more than that in there. The carrying itself is good. Not much wicker. In fact, there's no wicker there, so you do sweat quite a bit carrying this. That's not the only downside. Another downside I found, which is what I used on my last video when I was hiking with the kayak, was the hip belt. That is it. There's no padding. Yeah, there's no support there really at all, and that's where you really want your padding, on the hip belt, because that's where the weight should be distributed onto your hips. The shoulders are there for just support, but the hips is where you should carry the weight, and this has got nothing, so that's just cutting into me, because I had a belt on my trousers as well, and that just made things 10 times worse. So that needs some modification. For those of you who have heard of Beck's Bug Out Survivor, I'm sure I could have sent this to him and he would have fashioned some padded hip belt out of it, but it probably would have come back with a great hip belt, but with another 2 or 3 rocket pouches on there as well, because he likes his rocket pouches. But yeah, bloody brilliant bit of kit. The only thing is it weighs just under 4 kilos. Now when you're walking for quite some distance, that 4 kilos is a lot, you know, on top of what's inside there as well, which we'll come on to in a bit. So that's why I didn't choose that one to carry, just because of the weight of it empty. Yeah, 3.9 kilos. So I didn't use that one. Another one I like to use is this, the Mango. That is only a 60 litre plus 10, so yeah, 2 5-litre side pouches, so 60 litres. Wasn't quite enough, I don't think, but it is good, you know. It's just got full access. You open the lid up and you've got access to all things inside. I don't drink that, that's from the cooker, but it's good, yeah. Good waist belt, hip belt on these, really good. And the mesh system, nice aluminium frame, so this is a really comfortable pack to carry. But I didn't take it because I didn't think it was big enough, so that's another reason why. This weighs in at 2.2 kilograms, so it's you know, it's 1.7 kilograms less than the Bergen, the MTP Bergen. I'll have that later. So that leads me on to this pack, but before we get on to that, I'll talk about what I was wearing. Just a pair of old walking shoes, really, trainers, carry more, well broken in. I've had these quite a while, still got some good grip on there. Not waterproof, as I found out, as I knew, but they did get wet, and my feet got wet on the Saturday, because we got caught in the downpour, as you saw in the video. So yeah, they're good, comfortable shoes to walk in, but not waterproof. This was the only top I was wearing. Yeah, synthetic polyester with a fleecy lining. Arc'teryx, I do like my Arc'teryx gear. It's a bit pricey, very pricey, but I've got quite a bit of Arc'teryx stuff, and I've never ever had any trouble with it. And the thing I like about Arc'teryx, it's very, very light, and it stood the test of time. You know, I've had this quite a while. Very comfortable, no chafing, absorbs any moisture, sweat, and dries really quickly. And talking about drying quickly, so do these trousers. These are just regatta trousers, very cheap. I've had these a while as well. Zip offs, so you can turn them into shorts. But being, you know, Caribbean sunset colour that I am, I don't like to have my body in the sun too much, you know. But these are really comfortable, dries really quick. Multitude of pockets to keep all stuff in. So, and again, quite light. But yeah, they're a nice pair of trousers to go hiking in. The bag itself then, and also carrying an Nalgene water bottle, 1 litre water there, so that's a kilo, probably a bit more with a bottle. Water weighs a kilo, a litre of water. So I'm going to weigh this pack. This is everything that I took on the weekend, that I was carrying, with a few modifications, and I'll talk about those in a bit. So I'm going to turn it on. Get it right, yeah, there we go. So we're on to 0. Hook her on. Pick her up. I'll let that do its work, and I'll show you. Okay, 17.4 kilograms. So 17.5 kilograms. That's as it is now, but as I said, there are some alternatives, some changes in there. The rain cover, Snug Pack rain cover, it was brand new before I put it on Saturday morning, and already it's got cuts in it. It is ripstop, which is one consolation, I suppose, but it's very, very thin. This was just leant up against a tree, and it's got holes in it. So, oh, and also when I went to tighten it, the brass grommet came off, so I can't be buying snug pack rain cover anymore. Onto the pack itself, it's a cheap knockoff MTP type version backpack. This weighs 1.5 kilograms, which is nothing really when it comes to backpacks. That's empty, 1.5 kilograms. So it's good for that reason. It's got the wicking mesh here, so it absorbs your moisture. It's well padded, and it dries quite quickly. The only thing about this is this part here, because it is adjustable, you can adjust the height of it depending on your size. Obviously I have it quite high because I'm shortish, but this can dig in your back, which is really annoying sometimes. Well, if it does happen, it's annoying all the time. But yeah, it's well padded, good hip belt, which does sit on your hips rather than above or below, so that's quite good there. On here I've got my first aid kit. Yeah, quick release, quickish release. You don't really need to, I'll show you anyway. So tweezers, tick removers, steri strips, scissors, paracetamol and ibuprofen, some dressings, bandages. I've got a housewife in there, or sewing kit for the civvies amongst you. I've got some of this tape that's really quite sticky, tenacious tape it's called. There's a dressing or bandage, yeah, dressing the bandages, some micropore, yeah, and that's a patch for any nylon, i.e. the tarpaulin, tent or anything like that I take. That's that one. This is my, it used to be like a possibles pouch, which was quite small. In fact, there was that one, but then my possibles started getting bigger and bigger, so I needed a bigger pouch, so I got this one. This was a hip flask, but it should be in my first aid kit. It's got mouthwash in it. So that's that. I've got a head torch, so that's pretty good. I've got another small torch there, which has got a zoom. It's possible to zoom in on that. Here is my sort of small sponge there, and I've got travel toothbrush, and inside I've also got the toothpaste that is in there, and it will come out with a bit of persuasion, and some soap, marine life friendly soap, so I can wash in rivers with that, some lip seal thing. So yeah, that's for drying yourself with, and then that wrings out and dries pretty quickly. Here I've got Avon Skin So Soft. I did talk about it on the video. Very, very good insect repellent, but not very good for my skin anyway. Toilet paper, Angel toilet paper. Pencil, which comes in handy. That's a China graph type, the wax crayon, so pretty much writes on anything. What else have I got in here? Compass and whistle, silver compass. I'm quite good at navigating. I do like to take a compass with me. A lighter, just for, you know, because I can. This is one of those Swiss cards things, so scissors, a little knife, magnifying glass, yeah, one of them, and a few of them. This is a Wi-Fi dongle. Runs off a different SIM card than what I have on the phone, so if I can't get a signal on the phone, then I've got an extra chance of getting a signal. But it works on Wi-Fi. Cost me £10 a month, so that's pretty good if I need it. And a quick, a cheater's guide to sharpening knives. Don't use that often at all, really. So that's that. So that's empty. We'll go on to the front page here. In here I keep a litre of water in a bottle. So there's one of those there, there's another one inside. This is my water filtration kit, the Millbank, and inside there I have the water filter itself. Again, cheap version. It seems to work alright. I have tried it. Haven't had any problems with it. Haven't had no gut rot or had the squits since using this, or drinking the water from using this. So that seems to be alright. In the glasses case, could be a bigger case, but that seems to work well for the price anyway. Things like that I buy them cheap because I don't know if I'm going to use them, and if I do use them quite a bit, then I'll look at spending more money to buy a reputable or decent product. So again, with this bag you've got a bottom opener and you've got the top loader as well. Two side pockets, sorry. So we'll open up the bottom. In the bottom of here I have, that is my hammock, and just in the top of the hammock I've got some tree straps on a nice aluminium crab, more tree straps, and the hammock itself, again on aluminium carabiners. That's with the mozzie net, and hopefully the ones that bit me on the Saturday night are still in there. Did. There's the other water bottle, 58 pattern, robust, bomb proof, but a bit heavy even when empty. Okay, here I have I took 2 season sleeping bag. Don't need to see it, sleeping bag's a sleeping bag. It's a square type, rectangular type, not the mummy type, because I slept in a hammock, and I find the mummy type you're kind of restricted anyway, but in the hammock even more so. So that's why I took a rectangular bag, 2 season, nice and light, no problems there at all. Also, excuse me, under quilt for the hammock. Never used to have one of these, and since I've had it, the difference I've noted is tremendous. It's just, it adds another 1.5 seasons on your hammock. So that's why I took the 2 season one. It still gets pretty cold here, where I was anyway, on the east coast in Dunwich. So yeah, this made a big difference, the underquilt. So if you do hammock camping and you haven't got an underquilt and you're contemplating it, you're umming and ahhing, I would suggest it. For 20 quid, get one. So that's the bottom. You can access the top part of the backpack from here, but I won't. So we'll open that up. I do need, in fact I have ordered a new backpack because this one is ripped now. BLR. In the top there I had just a lightweight waterproof jacket. Very, very lightweight, again Arc'teryx. But if I pick this up the scales, it probably wouldn't even read anything. It's that light. Really good bit of kit. Okay, in here I have my tarp. It's a 3x3 tarp, ripstop. It's not a DD tarp. which seems to be the go-to one that all you bushcrafters go for. But DD tarps aren't rip stock. This one is, and again this only cost me 30 quid. But nice. I'm not going to get it out. I don't know what tarps look like. But it has got the 2, 3, 4, 8 fixing points. No, 10 fixing points around the edges, and the 2 along the ridge line as well. This is my kitchen with food. Obviously hasn't got the food in there that we had on Saturday, the steak, the potatoes, oh it's lovely. So I have kind of substituted some bits for it. So I've got a couple of onions where I only have the one, so there's a couple of spuds there as well. There's the pots and pans that I used. They're not a set, but they do go together quite well. So inside there, I took a kettle, didn't use it, because Matt, the guy I was with, doesn't drink tea or coffee. Strange. And he's, by his own admission, he's weird. So I didn't need to take that because I do have my own little cup that I can boil in. So anyway, that holds a washing up bowl that I've cleaned it with obviously, and just a cloth ripped down sort of towel there inside that. So the amount of times I've been camping and didn't even have something like a cloth, which does come in handy quite a lot. Also inside there I've got leather issue mittens. Yeah, just slap the old mittens on and so away you go. Good old stuff. So that can go back in there. I'll sort that out later. Also in here I have my issue aluminium pan. Still got the crow's foot on the bottom. Lovely, nice and light. Bit bulky, but you can put more stuff in it then, can't you? This is substitute for the steaks. It's about the same weight. Tin of beans I took. And that's it for the cooker. The kitchen side of things. Which was enough apart from the grill, which I'll get out in a moment once I get these out. Here I have my warm kit. Fleece, and also got my spare clothes as well. So skiddies are in there, spare pair of socks, a t-shirt, and my fleece, which I put on when we got to camp, just to, keep warm. So start getting chilly. Here I've got a Gore-Tex jacket. This is a sort of heavy duty one. And I don't support Norwich City. It's just the way it is. Guess what? Arc'teryx. Brilliant, brilliant Gore-Tex jacket. No problems with that whatsoever. I'll take that out with me all the time. So that's that. I had some beers. Oh shit! I had some beers. Look at that. I had some beers, but they were cans. And actually, when I let the Bergen up against the tree, which damaged the waterproof covering, one of the cans split, and I started getting all this, feeling all this water down the back of my, or liquid down the back of my legs, and it was one of the cans in the front pouch had split. So I had to get out quick and drink it, so I didn't waste it. So a couple of beers I took 4 cans of Faith. Yeah. In here is my buffalo jacket, and with that and my warm kit, which I'll take off before getting to bed. I'll keep my fleece on, but the spare clothes and this I'll put into another sack, stuff sack that I use as a pillow. So that's that. Another issue bit of kit, really good. It's actually sort of folded into its own pocket there. Never easy, is it? So yeah, there's the grill I use to cook the steaks on, and the pots and pans just straight onto the coals of the fire. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the inside. Just a couple more things now. Bit of side pictures. In here I've got what I class as my bushcrafty type stuff. So I've got the fire lighting kit. A couple of tins in there, you know, the old tobacco tins. So I have, in one of them, so in there I've got some birch bark, some chemicals there that I can mix together to create fire. I don't know. I just thought I'd buy them to see if they worked, and they do. They're pretty good. So yeah, they're alright. And this one I have some fire plugs. Not many of them left. There's only one of those left. They're really good. The ferrocerium rod, which is only a small one, but it works every time. It's really good. So I don't have any issues with those. That's what I've got here. Yeah, more bits of birch bark. Also, I have, my hands are filthy now. One of these silicone straw. It's for fire lighting, so assisting the fire anyway. And inside here, I've got the contents of the tumble dryer filter, which is really good for the tinder starting fires, because it's super dry. And it's just fluff. So yeah, that's really good. So top tip there, clean out your tumble dryer filter and use it for tinder. Also, this I'll carry on my belt, you know, when I'm walking, when I'm out and about. This is just a lock knife. That's Bear Grylls. It's a really good knife, really sharp, serrated part, and just a Scandi grind on there. But yeah, it's a really good knife. Totally illegal, as you know, to be walking about with one of these on your belt, because it's a lock knife. Crazy. This didn't have a popper on it, just had Velcro fixing, but that wore after a while, so I put the popper on there myself. So that goes on my belt. A DC4 sharpening stone. This is just a pouch, foraging pouch. You know, carrying bits and pieces in there when I'm out and about. Also, I'd like to take a book with me, tree guide. This one on this occasion, but I'm into the. I'm looking at foraging as well. Yeah, so that's just the one I took on this occasion. The bush knife itself, it's a TBS. I kind of made a mistake when I bought this. It's a knife, good knife, really good knife. I use it for batoning, splitting wood. So it's held up really well, but it's a hollow ground, and I bought it. It's sold as a bushcraft knife, and I was hoping it was a Scandi grind, but it's a hollow ground. But it seems to work alright. I haven't had no issues with it. And being a hollow ground gives you a bit more finer detail, cooking, stuff like that. So yeah, that's a good knife. I like that. So this is the saw. Now don't laugh, please don't laugh. It's a good saw. It's a really good saw. As again, it's one of those things that I didn't know if I was going to use it too much, so I just bought a cheap one. And I do use it quite a bit, so I was looking at buying another one, but this one's still alright, you know, it's good. Right, it's yellow, so what, at least I can find it if I drop it. But yeah, it's really nice, cuts through wood and no problems whatsoever. So yeah, that's that in there, that's that side. And finally the other side. is my brew kit. Tea bags, milk, sugar. I've got a fork, I've got a spoon. Oh, not just my brew kit. Tent pegs and paracord, some cordage in there. And this is my little mug and cup, aluminium. And inside there I have my paraffin stove, my paraffin, methylated spirits. Yeah, don't drink it, pour it in there. So that's good for lighting your fires. That's good for a fire. And my twig burner, which is, well, it's twig burner. But this is a good one because, yeah, I think you've seen it on one of the other videos. I was having trouble putting it together then. So yeah, probably the same here. There we go. So this will fit inside there. And mug on top. But obviously the methylated spirits burns away quite quickly, and you really can't carry too much of it about because it's weight, and I don't know how, it feels quite strong, but, or you can fill up with twigs, just keep popping the twigs in there and burning it that way. Yeah, so that's a good little stove and cooker and mug. And that's it. Back to me 1.5 kilogram bag. That's all my kit. There's quite a lot of it. All went in there. Tight fit. It was a really tight fit. Maybe I should have took the British Army Bergen issue, but I was concerned about the hip belt. But I have ordered another one. Yeah, everything went in there. There's quite a lot of kit. I was a bit concerned because it did cram in there. I had to force it all in. That's probably why I've ripped that. I'm not going to bother repairing it because it ain't going to last 5 minutes. So yeah, like I say, I bought another one. So I'm just waiting for that to turn up, and I should be going out again. So that's everything I've got. Everything that I took I used, apart from the Gore-Tex. It didn't really rain. We got it was a fairly heavy downpour, but only lasted a few minutes. And this one, you know, really stood up to it. Really waterproof, really lightweight, and dries like that. So that's it. So, yeah, so watch your space. In the meantime, yeah, kayaking will probably be the next one. So yeah, subscribe please, and as soon as I do that, you'll get notified and you can have a watch of that one. So until then, goodbye.